start with chapter 6 today, but we will want to revise chapter 5, what we learned. It was written that we have to be like a lotus leaf, you're right, and we have to do our duty, be detached from the results, control our senses. Then it was told about the 4 pillars of dharma. If it wakes, there is a lot of chaos. There are 3 doers: body, what is the purpose, and we had soul, and we had super souls. Then we had to see everybody with equal vision. What is the effect and what is the implication on self as well as in seeing others. Introduction to Ashtang Yoga, which we'll start today. Peace formula: no God, no peace. Understand God as He wants us to. He is the supreme enjoyer, He is the proprietor, and He is the well-wisher of everyone. That is what we learned yesterday. Today's lesson is Dhyana Yoga, chapter 6. It is going to be describing about Ashtang Yoga. Arjun rejects the practice of Ashtang Yoga. Why Bhakti Yoga is the highest stage of yoga. Then mind, enemy or friend. Ashtang Yoga, determination of an destination of an unsuccessful yogi and the topmost yogi. In this chapter, Lord explains that the process of 8-fold yoga system, which is Ashtang Yoga, means to control the mind and senses. This is very difficult for people in general, right? Especially in this Kali Yuga. Although 8-fold yoga system or Ashtang Yoga is recommended in this chapter, but Sri Krishna still emphasizes in the process of Karma Yoga or acting in Krishna consciousness is better, he says. Lord then concludes this chapter with the declaration that yogi, any yogi who strives to unite with God, he is superior to tapasvi, ascetic, and jnani, person who has knowledge, and the karmi, ritualistic performance. So who is greater? Yogi is greater, he says that. Highest among all the yogis is the one who engages in bhakti. Bhakti yoga is the greatest in the loving devotion of God. That is what Krishna says over here. So let's see. Mind is enemy or friend. We need to know that, whether mind is enemy or friend. So we need to understand that. Nature of mind and yoga is redefined over here. According to you, what is your opinion? Is mind our enemy or our friend? I'll want you to type in the type box and tell me, what do you feel? Enemy, okay. Sandhya Mataji, are you there? Okay. So both friend, Suchita Mataji, friend, depends on how you use it. Alpa Mataji, nice. Neha, both depends on us. Neha Mataji. The viral depends. Rishi Prabhuji, depends on what we feed the mind. Very nice. Geeti Mataji, both. Komal Prabhuji, enemy. Okay. iPhone, it can be enemy as well as mind, depending on how it is conditioned. Kirti Mataji, mind is your greatest friend or greatest? Shivani Mataji, both. Manohar Prabhuji, both at different times. Nice, very good. So that's your opinion. Let's see the shloka on based on this. Bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmanajitaha anatmanastu shatrutve vartetatmaiva shatruvat. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. So is mind a friend or enemy? You're all right. Yes, it is up to us also. We all know people who had everything good, favorable, everything happening, very good happening for them. Still, they were living a very sad and miserable life. Why? Because their own mind tormented them non-stop, incessantly, through depression, through hatred, through tension, through anxiety and stress. For example, if someone throws a stone at you, it may hurt you for a few minutes, but by next day you will probably forget about it, right? It will hurt for a while, that's it. But if someone says something very unpleasant, rude, it may continue to agitate your mind for years. It will keep on running like a tape recorder. Why did he say that? Why? That was not the way to talk. Prahlad Maharaj told his father, you don't have any enemy outside. It is there inside. That is our mind. However, the same mind has the potential of becoming our best friend if we bring it under the control of the intellect through spiritual practice. You have to go through a spiritual practice to do that. So, what is the takeaway from this shloka? Once we have read this shloka, we have some takeaways, right? So, from this, the takeaway is that we must chant the holy name of Krishna 24 hours a day. And that is the solution to all the problems of this material existence. Keep your mind engaged in something good rather than thinking about the stuff that will agitate your mind completely. When Haridas Thakur was brutally beaten up in 22 marketplaces, he was praying to Lord Krishna to forgive those who were beating them. You can see that, how big a devotee he was. Even though he was being beaten up, he was still asking Krishna to forgive those people. You can utilize the mind in both ways. How can we do that? When mind is spiritually trained up, it is our best friend. It is the best friend of the soul because we're spiritually training the mind. You have to train it. It's like a pet dog, you know, you have to train the dog. Animal also you have to train. Similarly, we have to train our mind. When the mind is materially polluted, it becomes worst enemy, right? Bhagavad Gita states that, right? Bandhuratma manattasya yenatmeva atmanajitaha anatmanastu shatrutve vartetatmeva shatruvat. It says, right? Those who are grossly materialistic person, for them, yoga system is recommended. Otherwise, if mind is completely engaged in Krishna consciousness at the lotus feet of Krishna, the senses automatically become engaged in Krishna's service. That is the liberated stage. Too much materially bounded, then better you practice that yoga system. But if if you want to chant Hare Krishna, then it is a direct process. How? It will cure the mind of materialistic contamination because continuously the tape recorder of thoughts is moving towards Hare Krishna. So you don't have time. You have to, oh my God, I have to do 16 rounds. I have 2 hours. I have to do it. Totally, the mind is occupied with that. If you take to this process, we'll be happier. So mind, is it your enemy or friend? I would just want to know your experience that, you know, when your mind was an enemy or friend. You can write it down because if we talk, then we can do it after the class, talking, sharing your experience. So what is your experience? Has your mind ever been your friend or an enemy? Did you ever experience that? Mantra keeps the mind peaceful. Kavita Mataji, very nice. You can chat. When someone says something rude, my mind becomes my enemy. Yeah, true. Enemy most of the time, Mataji. Yeah. Enemy earlier, friend now. Oh, very nice. Any other thoughts that you would like to share? Yes, it is difficult. Many a times what happens, someone says something and that keeps running in your mind. So we need to control that mind. How can we control? By engaging it in Krishna consciousness. Yes, true. I agree with you all. Thank you for your thoughts. So friend, when your mind is your friend, it will follow the direction. It will be progressive and health choices will be good. You will think good. You will eat healthy. You will think healthy. Then you will be detached from sense gratification. I want this, I want that. You will be detached a little bit. You won't be having so many desires. You'll be like, yeah, I know, but I know the truth. We are in this material world. So mind is your friend that time. And what is the result? Freedom and elevation. You will move ahead if your mind is your friend. But however, if mind is your enemy, what will happen? It will follow sinful desires like lust, anger, greed. You will be feeling jealous. You will be always be irritated, angry, agitated. You will be misguided. You may misguide somebody. When you are in that mode, when mind is towards your enemy, you will go and you'll say, I will make sure that this person doesn't do this. And it is attached to sense gratification. Everything you want it for your senses, everything you want. You want to see good, you want to hear everything you want to gratify your own self and not Krishna. And what is the result? You will be degrading and you will be entangled in this material world continuously. No freedom from this enemy. It's the problem with everyone, every human being here, right? There is a demon and there is a divine, both inside us. You can see that. So the lesson we have to learn, and every time we have to keep repeating that like a tape recorder, is that I am not the body, I'm not this mind also. By Lord's grace, I can control the mind. Keep telling that I have to control the mind. I cannot be the slave to my mind. I have to be the master of my senses. Keep telling that all the time to your own self. You have to say that. If you won't say it, it will keep running here and there. And then it will go out of control. So that is a practice that we have to do, all of us, all our devotees, all of you devotees. So yoga redefined. What is yoga? It is a union between individual consciousness and supreme consciousness. Individual consciousness, ours, and the supreme consciousness. That is the yoga, like connection. What is it not? It is not a breathing exercise. It is not a physical exercise for healthy body. It is not going to Himalayas and sitting over there. And it better facility for sense enjoyment. If you are, it is not a better, oh, I will be enjoying more. It is not for sense enjoyment. Yoga is different. So what is it? You choose your goal, right? The moment you will choose your goal over here, what is your goal? That will define your role. Choose your goal, that will define your goal. So Ashtang Yoga. So what is Ashtang Yoga? We will come to know that from 6.10 to 6.36. We will finish Ashtang Yoga till Ashtang Yoga today. So is this yoga? See in the picture. What is that man doing? Putting his head inside the mud and under the soil. He is going to not be able to breathe also. Is this yoga? I don't think so. This is, look at them, all the people are watching and he is putting his head inside. This is like a stunt, you know, he's doing some kind of stunts. So who are true yogis? Who are true sannyasis then? There is very much confusion in this regard. You know, there are many people who say, oh, this Swamiji is a falahari, means one who eats only fruits and nothing else. And he must be an elevated yogi. Or they will say, this Babaji, you know, he is a dudahari, means he is living on milk alone. So hence he must be a great yogi. Or this Guruji is Pavanahari. He does not eat anything. He lives only on on the breath. So he must be definitely God realized. Or this sadhu is a Naga Baba, ascetic sadhu who does not wear clothes. So thus he must be perfectly renounced. Sri Krishna says, Lord Krishna dismisses all these concepts. He says that such external act of sannyasi or yoga or yogi or asceticism, it does not make anyone either a sannyasi or a yogi. No outward show. Show bottle spiritualism, says Srila Prabhupada also. Those who can renounce the fruits of their action by offering them to God are the true renunciants and yogis, not the ones who are doing some kind of stunt over here. Now you'd see. It's full of body full of tattoos. And is this yoga? It's an exercise. You're not doing yoga over here. What will you call this? Beer yoga. Look at this one. Animal massage yoga maybe. Again, dance yoga maybe. So many types. Even for pregnancy, they have started introduced for pregnancy, physical, mental health. They say yoga chair, yoga for even cat is there. Nowadays, yoga has become a buzzword in the Western world. Numerous yoga studios have sprung up, you know, in every town of every country in this world. Everywhere you can see this. See the books, how many books have been written on this. Yoga secrets for business success also is there. So we have to completely understand what yoga is, what Bhagavad Gita tells about yoga. So what is yoga? Yoga is connecting to God, like Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. It is connecting to God. So actual word yog means union. So what is it? Union of what? Union of our consciousness with divine consciousness. The connection, that is called yoga. Not any kind of exercise is called yoga. So let's see. There is a yoga ladder. Okay. So the lowest one is animal life. In this, the soul transmigrates in the lower forms of life, like plants, aquatics, insects, reptiles, mammals. Slowly they are evolving themselves in the cycle of samsara, right? This whole cycle. In this stage, soul remains immersed in sensual pleasures and struggles for immediate survival. They don't have superior intelligence at all. They cannot directly engage in self-realization. They have no way they can engage in that. So this category not only includes animal, plants, insects, and other lower forms, but also human beings who, who does only karma kanda, who are just concerned about eating, sleeping, mating, just simply immediate bodily needs they are looking after. They are not bothered about anything else. So according to the Vedas, the real human life starts when you start inquiring about the real nature beyond this body. That is karma yoga. So you start inquiring, you start accepting. Before that, in animal life and karma kanda human life, they are only interested in satisfying material desires. Now, as you devotees have stepped over here, you start accepting the transcendental goal, and it is known as and start calling a yoga practitioner, right? And then you slowly move on to Dhyana Yoga. You start learning what is it, what are we here for. You start inquiring inside, you start peeping inside your passion to goodness. Then you have increased little bit knowledge. You start detaching yourself slowly because of the knowledge, and then move on to Ashtang Yoga. Ashtang Yoga is also within the realm of all the modes, three modes of nature. It will still pull you. You move on. When you're doing Ashtang Yoga, what happens? You're moving on. Some Ashtang yogis, after doing for a long time, they realize, they go towards Brahman realization and realization of Paramatma. That is liberation beyond the modes of nature. The moment you have Brahman realization and Paramatma realization, that yogi is not controlled by three modes of nature, Satoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. They are not. They can control their senses. They are moving on. And from Paramatma realization, they move on to Bhakti Yoga, which leads to Bhagavan realization. This is the ultimate step, Bhagavan realization. Bhakti Yoga leads us to Bhagavan realization. This is the yoga ladder that is called, not the yoga that they do in the studios. There is a difficulty, The difficulty is physical and mental. When you are doing Ashtang Yoga, there will be difficulties. So what kind of difficulties will you face? You will face physical and mental. So physical and mental. So what do you think it might be? What physical difficulties and mental difficulties you may face? Can you please tell me? Kavita Mataji, restless mind is an enemy because it misguides us. Very true. So can you tell what kind of difficulties you may face if you are doing Ashtanga Yoga? Any idea? Before we go further, lack of flexibility in physical postures. Yes, Prerna Mataji, you're right. Mental is mind. Yes, Komal Prabhuji. True. Means of doing it is very difficult. Yes, true. Shri Priya Mataji. Meenakshi Mataji, human behavior. Giti Mataji, problem in focusing. Excellent point. Self-restraint, very good point. Alpa Mataji, can't be in particular pose and unfocused mind. True, very true. Darshana Mataji, finding silence. Very, very true, devotees. Very true. So difficult, right? So, what is the shloka that talks about it? Samam kaya shiro grivam dharayanna chalam stiraha samprekshya nasikagram swam dishashchana valokayan prashantatma vigatabhihi brahmachari vrate stitaha manas sanyamya matchitto yukta asita matparaha. So what we have to do, physical difficulty is like we have to hold one's body, neck and head erect in straight line and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. Thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life. This is Ashtang Yoga. So the yoga process is practiced. Why? In order to discover and see the localized form of Vishnu, which is Paramatma, not for any other purpose. That is the purpose of yoga actually. So one who has no program to realize this Vishnu Murti or Paramatma, you are unnecessarily, uselessly engaging yourself. That will be called a mock yoga practice. And we can call it, we can name it MYP, mock yoga practice. And it's a waste of time, definitely waste of time. That kind of yoga is for no use. Because if we are going towards God, then this is how we have to do. Krishna is the ultimate goal of life, right? And Vishnumurti, Paramatma, he is situated in one's heart. He is the object of the yoga's practice. That is what we have to focus upon. And to realize this within the heart, you have to observe complete abstinence from sex life. So therefore, one has to leave home. You have to live alone in a secluded place. You cannot enjoy sex life daily at home or elsewhere and attend a so-called yoga class and become a yogi. No, you cannot do that. You have to practice controlling your mind. Avoid all kinds of sense gratification. You cannot desire anything, nothing, totally controlled, of which sex life is the main one. So these are the rules that you have to follow if you have to do Ashtang Yoga. Since ultimate goal of this yoga practice is to see the Lord inside, Paramatma inside. So a Krishna conscious person is already the best of yogis because we are already focusing on Krishna. So why do Ashtang Yoga and go through this physical difficulty is the question. Let's see further. Yato yato nischalati manashchanchalam asthiram tatastato niyam yaitat atmanyeva vasham nayet. Yato yato, wherever nischalati becomes very agitated. Manaha means the mind, right? Chanchalam means it is agitating, flickering. The mind is flickering. Asthiram. Asthir means it is not steady, it's unsteady. Tatas tata means from there. Niyam yaitat. Niyam means regulation, right? Etat means what? This. Atman. Atman means the self. Eva means certainly. Vasham nayet. Vasham means what? You wash something means control. Nayet is never. You can never bring it under. You must bring it under control. Nayet means. So from wherever the mind wanders, due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. So this is mental practice that you have to do. So it is wandering away, it is flickering away, it is very unsteady in nature. So you have to withdraw from it, you have to bring it back. Even when we are chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra also, the mind wanders away. We are also practicing in a way. All of us, all devotees over here, we are all practicing the same thing while we are even chanting Maha Mantra. Mind does wander away. We are bringing it back again. So we are already practicing, I can say, Ashtanga Yoga. So Srila Prabhupada in his purport, he explains that the nature of mind is very flickering and very unsteady. But if a self-realized yogi has to control the mind should not control him if he is self-realized. Mind is not supposed to control him, right? So one who is able to control the mind, and therefore the senses, he will be, if he is able to control the mind, he is able to control the senses also. In Srila Prabhupada says he is called a Goswami. Goswami, Swami. Swami means one who controls. One who is controlled by the mind will become Godasa. Goswami, the one who can control the mind, and one who cannot, and who is the slave of the mind, he is called Godasa, the servant of the senses. Because serving Krishna with purified senses is called Krishna consciousness. So we must get into Krishna consciousness if we find Ashtanga Yoga difficult. It's not that Ashtanga Yoga cannot be done. It can be done, but it has many rules and regulations that we need to practice. So Ashtanga Yoga practices, mentally what all problems we face, we have unagitated mind, right? Mind is never steady, it is steady, it is flickering all the time. So we have to keep bringing it back. You cannot have any material desires, you cannot have any sense gratification. You have to be very strong in that. Complete celibacy, no sex life. It should be like, mind should be like a lamp in a windless place. If you're keeping a lamp in a windy place, the lamp will it stay steady? No, it will keep flickering and it may go off, right? So lamp in a windless place. So the mind also should be so steady, like a lamp in a windless place. Such nice words they have used in Bhagavad Gita. And our habits have to be regulated. You have to follow all 4 regulative principles. You have to get up early in the morning. You have to chant, no sex life. Mind has to be controlled, no material desires. Lamp in a windless place. Doing all this, is it easy? You have to think about it. So, Ashtanga Yoga. So, Ashtanga Yoga means what? Asht means 8. Anga means limb. Yoga means connection. We use 8 limbs and connect to God. It's a practice of transformation of ourselves, and it benefits every aspect of our life actually. If we can do Ashtanga Yoga, no problem. Everybody can, most of them are welcome to do. Everyone is welcome to do actually. So, and not just spending and exercising for 60 minutes on a rubber mat. If Ashtanga Yoga we want to do, we should do proper Ashtanga Yoga, right? Which has like Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. So we'll go a little deep into it now. See, this is the first limb is called Yama, which refers to external disciplines. So externally, we should be very disciplined. So what are the 5 yamas that we need to practice is ahimsa. We should be non-violent. Then satya, which is truthfulness. These are all external disciplines. Then asteya. Asteya means we should not steal. And third yama, this is the third yama, right? We should be like honest. Asteya means non-stealing. Then brahmacharya, right use of energy. And the last one is aparigraha, means what? Don't be greedy. No hoarding. We have to stop hoarding now. So that one. Then second limb comes niyama. When niyama comes, it is internal discipline. Till now we were talking about external discipline. That what all external disciplines we need to have. We need to be little bit truthful. We need to be non-violent. We should be truthful, non-stealing, brahmacharya, and not greedy. Second comes internal. Internally refers to what? The duties that are directed towards ourselves. So it has to be taken into consideration, right? What we take from outside world, what we are taking inside. We have to be very, very careful and disciplined that way. Ni means inwards. So what are the niyamas that we have to? Shaucha means cleanliness inside, not only outside. External discipline, okay, you should be clean outside also. Internally, we have to be clean. Santosha means you have to be always content. Means never keep on saying, I want this, I want that. You should be content. Then you have to be having discipline. Tapas, discipline you need to have. You have to have that burning desire that I have to reach Krishna consciousness. And swadhyaya, self-reflection. Introspect yourself. What are you doing? Usually we don't. We are always ready to point the finger at somebody else instead of looking inside, right? We have to introspect. Swadhyaya means, adhyaya means read. What? Scriptures. You can read Bhagavad Gita, everything. Surrendering, basically surrendering to the higher power. What is the third limb? It is asana. You can see the asana here. That is posture or meditation seat. So asana is the physical aspect, right? How physically you're sitting in this particular third step. So this is like, even in Patanjali Sutra, it has been given. It is like Sthira Sukham Asana, means comfortable position. You should sit because you have to sit for a long time. So you should be steady and comfortable the way you're sitting. Then the next one is, that is the posture only. That posture is about asana. Next is pranayama. What is pranayama? It is breath control. Prana. Prana means what? Prana means energy, life source. If pran gaye means everything gone, they say. That is the life source. Pranayam can also be understood as pranayama. Pranayama can be understood. That means breath control. Pranayama. Yama means control, breath control. So no breath restraint. So we choose a very calming practice, like, who is that guru who comes early in the morning? I keep forgetting his name. That yoga guru. I forgot the name. Baba Ramdev. He keeps telling, do Kapal Bhati. So this will cleanse the breath, breathing. It's a skill, cleansing breath, right? So that is pranayama. Then fifth limb of yoga is Pratyahara. What is Pratyahara over here? Pratyah is a Sanskrit word, means withdraw. So what do you have to withdraw? Hara, ahara. Pratyah is withdraw. Ahara. What is ahara? Whatever we are taking in. How are we taking everything in? Through our senses. We see everything, we hear everything, we smell everything, we touch, we taste everything. So we are taking in everything through our senses. So Pratya Ahara means we have to withdraw the senses. I hope you're understanding, or am I going too deep? So we take in everything through our senses, like sight, sound, smell, everything. So we are able to meditate without easily getting distracted by any outside thing, because we have withdrawn everything inside. So sixth limb will be what? Dharana. Dharana means what? What is dharana? Dharana means focused concentration. Dha means hold, maintain. And ana means something else. You have to hold on to something and you have to fix your mind onto something else. On what? Something, some particular specific point. It can be anything internal, or a body part, or chakra, or something external, like a statue. You are looking at an idol or something. You have to focus on something. Dharana means concentration. You are fixing your mind on something. So it is not important that what object we are focusing. The main purpose is, by focusing on that particular object, we are trying to quieten our mind. Our mind is running, right? So we have to quieten the mind by focusing on a particular thing for total concentration. And then comes, what is the next one? Dhyana. What is Dhyana? Dhyana is the seventh limb. It is built upon asana. It is which is like physical posture, how you sit. Then pranayama, how to control the breath. Then pratyahara, how you are controlling your senses or withdrawing your senses. And of course, dhyana will be absorption. Dhya means what? Think. So you are thinking. As per Yoga Sutra, what? The main purpose of meditation is what? To interrupt the normal mental activities, fluctuation. What is the purpose of yoga? Meditation. You're sitting here, you're trying to withdraw your senses. You're trying to hold everything. The mind is running, it is flickering. So the mind's activity is fluctuating. You are trying to make it steady. Calm it down. Bring it down. Focus on one thing alone. Don't waver your mind. Stay composed. So that is what dhyana is all about. We have to bring it so that we can interrupt the normal mental activity, the fluctuations, the sensory knowledge, the imagination, and memory. Memory is very strong. Out of all of this, memory is very difficult to quieten, because every time it will go back in the flashback. As we sit quietly, it will not remain quietly. It can even go back to your childhood. It can go back to your immediate what happened last week. It can go anywhere. The memory is very hard to quieten, right? It keeps on feeding us from past, along with endless streams of feelings and emotions and thoughts. Keep on feeding. And of course, the last one that we come to is samadhi. Samadhi is union or integration. So samadhi, most of us know by when we say samadhi, oh, he's got enlightenment or bliss, right? So if we break the word in half, we see the final and the last step is made up of two Sanskrit words, sama and dhi. Sama means what? Sama, equal. Dhi, which means to see. So see everybody with equal vision. Yesterday we did, right? See everyone with equal vision. Whether Brahmana or Gavi or Hastini, even it's a cow or elephant or anybody, even Shuvacha, Vashtapa, Kecha. So anybody we see with equal vision. A learned Brahman sees everybody with a equal vision. So Samadhi. So see equally. Great ability to see equally. Not only everyone, even the sense attachments, like, all kinds of emotions, everything, habits, likes, dislikes, desire, happiness, sorrow, without any, we have that balance over there. Nothing, we are not disturbed by anything, come what may. So we don't get disturbed. The mind doesn't get disturbed, right? And without any need to judge, we don't get attached to anything. That is the actual bliss. Enlightenment is nothing. It is just having equal vision. We are not bothered whether it is misery, happiness, good, bad, ups, downs, no promotion, yes promotion, nothing. It's calm. That is samadhi. So it is union or integration. This is the details of yama. I would like somebody to read. If somebody can read it, I will appreciate that. Who would like to read this? I'll unmute now.
Can I read, ma'am?
Yeah, please, please.
Yama 6.10. He should live alone in a secluded place and should always carefully control his mind. Niyama 6.17. Temperate in his habits of eating, sleeping, working, and recreation. Asana 6.11 to 14. Lay kusagrasa on the ground. Lay kusagrasa on the ground.
Kusha grass is that grass, that the mat made up of grass.
Okay. So lay kusha grass on the ground and then cover it with a deer skin. The seat should neither be too high nor too low and should be situated in a sacred place. One should hold one's body, neck, and head erect in a straight line and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. Thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me. Pranayama 5.29. Practice stopping the movement of the outgoing breath into the incoming and incoming breath into the outgoing, and thus at last remain in trance. Hare Krishna.
There's more. If any, would you like to continue or somebody else wants to read?
May I?
Yeah, please.
Pratyahara, cessation of material existence. Dharana 6.18. Disciplines his mental activities and becomes situated in transcendence, devoid of all material desires. He is said to have attained yoga. Dhyana 6.19. As a lamp in a windless place does not waver, so the transcendental, whose mind is controlled, remains always steady in his meditation on the transcendent self. Samadhi 6.20 to 23. One is never shaken, even in the midst of the greatest difficulty. This indeed is actual freedom from all miseries arising from the material contact.
Very nice. So once you have done all, you have seen the 8 yoga, Ashtang Yoga, right? You have seen this one, and this one. You have seen yama, niyama, external discipline, internal discipline, posture, breath control or pranayama, withdrawal of senses, pratyahara, dharana, concentrated, meditative absorption, dhyana, and samadhi. After doing all this, after learning about all this, after reading about all this, so are you willing to give this yoga system a try? I need to know. Please, you can chat. Pratyahara, I just explained, Meenakshi Mataji. I will show you again. Pratyahara is there, right? Withdraw. Pratyaya is withdraw and ahara is whatever we are taking in. What do we take in? We take in from our senses, right? So we have to stop that and we have to withdraw everything and focus more. That is Pratyahara. Hope you understood. Japa and keeping the mind engaged in Sri Krishna is easier. Yeah, okay. Very nice. Rishi Prabhuji says yes. Sure, even I agree with Rishi Prabhuji, same here. No, it's as it's not practical in our Kali Yuga, Shri Priya Mataji, yes, Kirti Nayak Mataji. No, it's not practical in Shri Priya Mataji says, Kirti Nayak Mataji says, yes, you can do. Chanting Hare Krishna is easier. Yes, true, Mataji, true. Could use pranayama and Dhyana. Yeah, we do that in Hare Krishna also, not all 8 steps. True, true. We'll try in parts. Yeah. Started with yoga. Okay. We can't do this under the Mataji. Then we'll try in parts Giti Mataji. Only Japa Anuradha Mataji. Then Krishna Mataji says, but after understanding Bhagavad Gita, I realized chanting is a shortcut to divine. I true Mataji. Why not opt for easier way? Kali Yuga, it's we can't go to to do Ashtang Yoga anywhere. It's sitting here. Nobody will allow us to do here. We'll try in parts. Then Neha Mataji. If we try, may do. Certain limbs are possible, not all. Yeah, true. Yes, I agree with you all. Yeah, very good. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, opinions. So nice. So yes, very difficult. We may do in parts, as you all said, and shortcut to Krishna consciousness. Shri Maha Chaitanya Prabhu already told us that we have to chant Hare Krishna, and that's the easier and easy way to go to Krishna consciousness or Golok Dham. So why not chant? Even while chanting also, we do Pratyahara. We try to withdraw our senses also there. We are trying to control our mind too. So who is he? Who can tell me who is there in this picture? First picture, anybody?
Arjun.
Yeah. Do you know the story of this one? What is he doing? What did and who is this guru? Who is this guru?
Dronacharya.
Yeah. So what is this all about? What is he asking him to do? Anybody wants to tell me?
Eye the bird. I mean, try the eye of the bird which is flying.
Yes. Yeah. Dronacharya had asked him to shoot the arrow on the bird which was there on the tree, and he wanted him to shoot. So he aimed at the eye of the bird. Very true. Very nice. So even the second picture, who will tell me what is this all about? Who is he and what is he doing? Anyone?
Lord Ram.
Guess. There is a water.
Arjuna, man. Arjuna at the Swayamvar.
Very correct.
Arjuna.
Correct. Yes.
He tried to eat the fish.
Yes. Very nice. Yes, true. Correct. Arjuna, Drona, Anuradha Mataji, Rajalakshmi Mataji, Arjuna, Dronacharya. iPhone. How can we withdraw the senses, not consuming anything? I couldn't read that. I'll read later on. Okay. Arjuna, Dronacharya, aim on the eye. It is difficult not to see. If there is something to do, is it difficult not to say? No. Everything is there. That is the thing, no? Lovely Mataji, focus on the eye of the bird and target it, while Draupadi, Swayamvar, Arjuna focused on the fish eye and targeted it. Very nice. Thank you, Lovely Mataji. Very good. Yes. So persons who perform Karma Yoga, right? Karma Yoga, do all activities in the spirit of humble service of God, without any desire whatsoever for rewards. So even though they may be a grihastha, Arjuna is a grihastha only in a way, right? Such persons are true yogi and they are real sannyasis. So only thing is, multitasking these days. People talk about multitasking in multinational companies. Multitasking is actually what it is doing is reducing our attention. The lesson we learn over here from here, that multitasking is reducing our attention span. Success comes from focus, not by dividing the focus. So focus on your work. Whatever you are doing, focus it. Do it with full focus. We are spamming our mind by getting all kinds of information from everywhere. Don't spam your mind. Focus your mind. That is the lesson we learn. If we want to be successful in life, we must have focus. The moment we have focus, we can achieve anything, like Arjuna. So now what Arjun says, Arjun is telling Krishna, Chanchalam himana Krishna, pramati balavatridam, tasyaham nigraham manye, vayoriva sudushkaram. For the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, very strong. Oh Krishna, and to subdue it, I think it is more difficult than controlling the wind. Chanchalam himana Krishna. Mind is so chanchal, so flickering, so unsteady. Krishna, Pramati Balavadra is very strong. Tasyaham nigraham mani. I can vayoriva sudushkaram. I can control the wind maybe, but I cannot control my senses. Very difficult. So the difficulties that he is facing. So look at the picture over here. This picture you can see. Mind. How is this mind? Mind is like a mad monkey bitten by a scorpion. So this is the mind. It's like a mad monkey. And mad monkey, for example, has been bitten by a scorpion. What will the monkey do? Monkey will be jumping up and down. Mind is like that. So Arjuna speaks for all of us. When he describes the troublesome mind, it is restless because it keeps, flickering, flitting in different directions from subject to subject. It's very, very turbulent. Why? Because it is creating a lot of hatred, lot of lust, lot of desire, lot of anger, lot of envy, lot of anxiety. So attachment also very strong. It's not easy. Like Prabhuji was writing over there at Pratyahara, how can we withdraw senses? Not easy, Prabhuji. It needs practice. Krishna will tell us what to do. He says practice is very strong. We cannot. It overpowers the intellect also. And it will destroy even the faculty of discrimination as to what is right and what is wrong. We go and insult people. We will do everything wrong. We know it is not good, but it is so strong mind that it will overpower the intellect, which is telling you this is wrong, this is right. The intellect gives the discriminatory power that this is right, this is wrong, but it overpowers it, and then it is very stubborn. Arjuna is telling it is so stubborn, so obstinate, because as soon as we get one harmful thought, it refuses to let go. I'm sure many are there over here who will share the experience like that. It refuses to leave us. That kind of thought, it is like it sticks. But how we should be? Like a lotus leaf. When the water droplet is there, it doesn't stick to it. It moves away. But it doesn't. Our mind is so obstinate, so stubborn. It goes and it sticks and it refuses to let go. It will be there for days together. We'll keep on thinking about it day and night, and we become miserable. So Arjuna is declaring over here, mind is even more difficult to control than the wind. It is such a powerful analogy. If you want to give that analogy, it is so nice, right? Very powerful analogy that Arjuna has given, that for no one can ever think of controlling the mighty wind in the sky. We can't do it, at least. But Arjuna was a mighty warrior. He says, probably I can stop that, but I am not able to stop the mind. You can imagine how strong the mind is. The simile used over here is very appropriate, right? One cannot capture the blowing wind. We cannot capture it. And it is even more difficult to capture the turbulent mind. Very stubborn, very turbulent. So the easiest way to control the mind, as Lord Chaitanya suggested, chant Hare Krishna. The greatest mantra that he has given in this, at least for this Kali Yuga, in all humility. It's not that Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, we are doing it, but the mind is running around. We have to do it with complete humility and try to control our mind. Not that, okay, initially it won't happen, but slowly, as you are progressing in spiritual path, it will help us, definitely help us. For example, we had Ambarish Maharaj. He's an example. He can be a role model. He fixed his mind on the lotus feet of the Lord. He would always think, what can I do for the Lord? He spoke only about the pastimes of the Lord. He would talk about Krishna all the time. He smelled only the flowers and tulsi that was offered to the Lord. He would walk. All the senses I'm talking about, the parts of the body also I'm talking about, what he is doing. He used his feet. He walked to the temple of the Lord. He would engage his hands in cleaning the temple. He would engage his tongue in tasting the prasadam offered to the Lord. He would engage his ears for hearing the gate pastimes of the Lord. So Pratyahara means withdraw the senses. If you are not able to do, at least we can do this. We can taste prasadam. We can hear Lord's bhajans and kirtans. We can see Lord. So in that way, all the senses were engaged. The moment all the senses are engaged, then definitely, we move towards Krishna consciousness. If one's mind is completely engaged in Krishna, then only then there will remain no other engagement to kind of disturb our mind or agitate our mind. So we need to practice this. This comes with practice. So what will Krishna tell? Because Arjuna said, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. So Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Asamshayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigraham Chalam Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagyena cha Grihyate. So Lord Krishna is telling, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment. Right? Asanyatatmana yogo dushprapa iti me matihi vashyat manatu yatata shakyo vatumupayataha. For one whose mind is unbridled, self-realization is a difficult work. But he whose mind is controlled and who strives by appropriate means is assured of success. That is my opinion, is what Lord Krishna says. So Lord Krishna is telling him, and he's calling him Asanshayam Mahabaho, which means mighty armed one, praising him. Oh Arjuna, you have defeated bravest of warriors. You are a Mahabaho. Can you not defeat your mind? So Lord Krishna does not deny the problem by saying, hey Arjuna, what nonsense are you talking? He's not saying that. You don't know, can't you control your mind? He's not talking like that. He's calling him Mahabaho. You have defeated so many warriors. What is this for you? Rather, he agrees with Arjuna's statement. His mind is definitely indeed difficult to control. I understand. Asamshayam, no doubt, Mahabaho, Mano Durnigraham Chalam, it is different. But he has got the solution. What is it? He says, Abhyasena to Kaunteya. Kaunteya is Kunti Putra. So he agrees with him and he says it is difficult to control. However, so many things are difficult to achieve in life, in this world. Yet we don't give up, right? There are so many things we want to do and we'll make sure that we do it. If we want to run a race and we want to win it, we'll put our heart and soul in it, right? He says there are so many things difficult to achieve, but we still remain undaunted. We still try and we still move forward. Sailors, when they are sailing in the sea, they know the sea is very dangerous, right? There is a possible that while they are going, there will be a terrible storm. Yes, they know. Yet, that does not mean that they stay ashore and say, okay, we'll not go. Maybe if I go, maybe this will happen. No, they try, they go. So Lord Krishna is assuring Arjuna that mind can be controlled. But how? He says, Abhyasena tu Kauntena, Vairagyena cha Grihyate. By Vairagya. Vairagya and Abhyas. Abhyasena tu Kauntena. So what is the meaning? Vairagya means detachment. So when we see the mind is running towards some object of attachment, we need to remove or eradicate that attachment or the unnecessary thought or the wanderings of the mind. Bring it back. It comes with what? Abhyasa, means practice. It won't come. How can I withdraw my senses? It's so easy. If I can see a TV in front of me or I see a plant, how can I withdraw my? He said, with practice, you have to do it. Abhyas means practice. Persistent effort to change the old habit or develop a new habit You need practice. So practice is the very important word for sadhakas who want to go into spiritual path. This practice word is very important for them, because practice word is the key that opens the door to any kind of you want to master something, or you want to gain some kind of excellence. That is the key. So for example, let's take a simple example of typing. I'm typing on this computer, for example. First time when I start learning how to type, I may type a word, I may take 1 minute to type a word when I want to become a typist. But after typing continuously, you're doing that computer work. After 1 year, your fingers will move so quickly. They will be flying on the keyboard. And you may, who knows, you may type 80 words a minute. This proficiency, how does it come? It comes with practice. It doesn't come in 1 day. 1 day it is very slow. Slowly in a year's time, you will be typing 80 words a day. Same way, the obstinate mind, the turbulent mind that Arjuna is talking about, it has to made to rest on how? Where? Lotus feet of Supreme Lord. Through what? Abhyas, practice. You have to, whenever the mind is going away, bring it back. Keep telling, give me 5 minutes, please. I'm chanting, do it. You have to train your mind. You have to tell it. You have to talk to it. Sometimes by saying, no, I want it back. Sometimes by saying it very sweetly, just bring it back. Whenever it goes away, bring it back. Take the mind away from the world. Don't try and watch. The more you watch all around, the more you see so much, the more that enters into your mind. Unnecessary ones I'm talking about. Not that is, that is very important for your work or anything. Useless things we watch more. So we need to bring it to rest, and we need to bring it to rest on God. That is abhyas. So Krishna says what? One who subdues the senses by giving up all the desires, focus the mind on God alone, think of Him only all the time, see everyone with equal vision. This statement creates a doubt in Arjun's mind regarding the sadhaka who is not able to control the mind. He now questions Lord Krishna in this regard. So what to do? If some sadhaka is doing it, but still he is not successful, what happens to that unsuccessful yogi? What will happen to him? He asks Krishna about this. So we will continue this one, unsuccessful yogi, in our class tomorrow, because this is little big, so we will continue it tomorrow. Okay. Vanchakalpatarupasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna.